Tech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And a 16-8 showing there, putting compLexity just past Dignitas. Now, ultimately, we can kind of sit here and say, yes, Dignitas is the younger team. This is the way we saw it gonna, happen.
Pan out.
That's exactly what happened, right? I think that's the story here to be said.
Yeah. I mean, compLexity are pretty good in Inferno, I gotta say. They're showing potential over and over again. I know they had a rough start against Splice, but ever since we've seen this compLexity play Inferno, it seems like they're very orchestrated. It seems like they know what they're doing at all times, and I feel like it's a little bit of a rough start for Dignitas lineup. Obviously, it could have been worse. They could have faced SK or Cloud9 in the first match and got completely blown out, but there was potential and sign of, good stuff, but overall, they're just outmatched in Inferno.
Yeah, no, I was kind of looking towards MCE and Mitch to start the game off, with Pro League experience from the past to kind of take the reins and show up the way. But it seems to be the newcomers actually, and Grim especially to start things off. That kind of gave them chances at least in rounds. Obviously, like compLexity went up to something like 9-1 before we saw Dignitas start really fighting back, but there were definite rounds where they had opportunities to get into things, and obviously when you do get into the situation where you win one round, get reset immediately, it does put you into a bit of a black hole, and that's really tough to deal with as an inexperienced team, right? Like, sure, you've ran into that probably during the season of MDL, but it's something very different when you're going up against a team that is better than you. Obviously, like if you're equally skilled or if you're a little bit better, you could deal with this kind of thing, but it's like you said, going into the pre-match, this is a completely new level for them. And they have to adjust, and that's going to take some time.
Well, a completely new level is one thing, and I guess rather than sit here and say excuses for them, what could they potentially take away from this? We talked a little earlier about some teams and winners and losers, but as a newer blood in the pro scene, what can these guys hope to learn from this experience?
I mean, every game is a new experience, and every game is a new chance of gaining some of that experience that they need in order to progress as players and as a team. And I feel like it was okay, as Vendetta said. There was a lot of rounds where it was close, where they could have won it. They could have clinched that second round in a row, or maybe have broken compLexity at some point. So there was hope, and there was close buys, but there was no actually winning rounds or getting on streaks, and that's what they need to show. Obviously, for a team like Dignitas, it's all about getting that experience and sucking everything in they can, basically, and just learn from every single game, from every single map they play, and from every single player they face. The more they learn, the more they get used to play on this level. The bigger of a chance there is they're actually gonna reward their full potential. These players are, just by looking at them, you can see they have their aim on point. I feel by looking at these players, it seems like they're pretty much more on point than some of the Ghost players. Whereas you would say some of the Ghost players might have more experience and stuff like that. So if they keep learning and keep going that route, at some point they'll start winning games.
Just continuous exposure to the EPL level of play should look to push them past where they are now. Not quite scraping against compLexity, a win there, but they're going to have another shot at it. We're going to be going to Cbble here, and that's going to be our next map at least. So can they have a better shot on this? Is it something where you guys feel it might turn out slightly different?
I mean, Cbble is a tough map to play. I think one of the things that scares me a little bit is we do often talk about how tough it is to play that CT side on Cbble, and one of the issues they had on Inferno, and what should be a somewhat easier map to play CT side on, is that they had very tough times of defending bomb sites without necessarily stacking. We saw that B bomb site get heavily abused at times by compLexity. So if compLexity find a similar opening in the defense of Dignitas, I'm not really sure how they're going to be able to cope with that in a good manner. But it's hard to tell. We haven't really seen Dignitas play Cbble at this point, so we should give them a little bit of hope and benefit of the doubt before they go into it. But obviously, compLexity are the big favorites.
Big favorites, Pimp?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Now, of course, I don't want you to have any sort of bias. We know the Dignitas affiliation. We know this.
Why would you say that?
I just want to throw it out there, man. Just go ahead. Continue on. Carry on. Do what you got to do.
Nah, good thing for Dignitas is they had the chance to watch their Cbble game against LG. They did end up losing compLexity, right? So they must have picked up on some stuff. So if I were Dignitas, I would look close towards that game. compLexity is not going to come in with something new. So if they can get off to a good start and actually have an idea of what's going on the compLexity lineup and see the weaknesses we saw when they were playing against LG, then there might be a chance for them to get off to a good start. And when you get into the game where it's back and forth and you have to adjust on the fly, you got to assume that compLexity are the more experienced guys and FNS has it under control. But if you can get a big enough lead, then you can rattle them out and may get a close game here. There's no doubt that compLexity are the favorites, but I have a little bit more hope in my Dignitas boys in this game.
There it is. Look at that. Heart and
no
soul
bias
is what
at
we
all.
called it.
Came together.
Heart and soul. You feeling the same way? Can Dignitas scrape together a W on our last night of the map? Wait, last map of the night. Last night of the map, everyone.
Yeah.
They'll load a new simulation soon. So.
W might be a bit of a tall order, but
stretch,
definitely, getting into double digits, that's definitely something they can look forward to. At least making it at a map that if they end up with the anticipated loss, they will at least have something they can learn from it.
And I think that is the big picture goal. Learning from what you're doing in life, isn't that, Pimp?
That's what I do every day. That's why Moses is here still and doing the same job day after day.
That's right, because he never stops learning. And just like me as a kid, we read Calvin and Hobbes, and that is exactly why we have the biggest brains in the room right now. Let's go ahead and bring that guy in himself, Mr. O'Toole.
Calvin and Hobbes is great, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have the biggest brains because of it.
Phenomenal.
It is the best of the best.
I still read those.
Yeah.
I still read them to this day.
Well,
I can't read.
I'm also here because I have...
oh, by the way, the whole, how would I say this? The nature calls thing. I don't think that was nearly as creepy as the dolls. I thought that was.
That's true.
All right, see you guys later.
Yes. I was going to say I'm also here because I have blackmail on everyone in the industry, so that helps. No one can cross me. Just remember that, Trace. Last night of the map, as one would say. Cobblestone going live between compLexity and Dignitas. And I like that. I like that Pimp has some increasing faith in the Dignitas boys, because they did look better, I think, than a lot of people expected through stretches. They had that very slow start. Would have been cool to see what would have happened if they didn't have such a slow start, if they didn't lose some of those 2-on-1 clutches. And we'll just have to see what they can do in the second map.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Exceed. I've seen him play a few times, and he was looking good last game. Hopefully he can keep that form up. And well, PTR's going to have his work cut out for him. They're going to get funneled in. Does have support, and Grim. That is dirty. 2 frags already over towards Long, and now suddenly man advantage taken for Dignitas. They've got control, and they don't want it. They're going to double back. At least that's what it looks like right now. The bomb actually going to stick around on the back of MCE here at Long. Exceed is there with him, perhaps trying to sell a bit of a double fake, and it looks like it's working. Yay and Android have both pulled away from A, leaving FNS to try and keep Dignitas at bay.
This is where you almost need to get Ye to start pushing up that B platform. See what he can get. Smoke is going to at least block off MCE, but FNS knows they're coming behind him. His teammate is here, and Ye. He has arrived, but he needs to get this kill. That would be great. It's not going to happen. FNS now, it's his turn, and he can't find it. Exceed with the frag, and Grim has got great position. Bomb is down, but a good trade. Android in a 1-on-2, and he can actually stop the cross. I don't think he realizes it. Depending on the timing of Exceed's peak. Oh, this is a nice move. They haven't spotted this whatsoever. So Grim swings out too wide in this angle. Can get picked off, and silently Android's still making his way up. He just gave up his position. Oh, that's a nice shot. One tap onto the head of Grim, and now he's got Exceed. 34 HP. He needs to win this, and he's going to. What an incredible clutch. He gained so much ground before they realized it, and still needed to hit an incredible shot.
I mean, Android is, I think, with the pistols in particular, he is just nutty. Like, there's something about him. Look at that, the confidence, the pivot, everything about it is perfect. This was a little bit messy, but then he corrects, and he wins it out 1v2.
I mean, that's just the theme of Dignitas, it feels like, right? If they could clean up some of these clutches and win some of these situations, even going back to the previous map, they'd be having a much more fun time, I think. But the important thing is, well, for a new roster that Dignitas is going to have to find solace in, which I think you can for a team that just recently got moved up. You could still find those silver linings and appreciate them, is that a number of times they're putting themselves in position to win rounds. And even though they're not closing it out, the fact that they're in that position is a very good sign for a new roster. It means they're not being entirely outmatched by compLexity here.
Well, they're over here in mid. Gonna try and go blow for blow with Death. He's got the MP9, the Shredder. Oh, Mitch has actually done insane damage. I thought he was going to go down almost instantly there. Now, luckily enough, you got PTR to come in and save the day, because otherwise, Death would have been dead. And it's all on Exceed, 1v5, Glock out, and Ye come around from behind. He falls. compLexity keep 5 players alive, but now the buy comes in for Dignitas, so that round was never going to be anything more than a few kills at best. Now they get the buy. And this is where they're in with the shot. Starting to get rounds, and it's a better start, I feel like. You know, we see them get the bomb plant here. They're buying up in round 3. They set the pace.
And MCE going for the MAC-10. Maybe wanted to do something fast-paced where he can lead the charge. Maybe also doing it to preserve some money for the later rounds for their offer. Smoke out, but they're not rushing with it. 2 Molotovs extinguished by 1 smoke, so a bit of a blunder for the defenders of compLexity. That was Ye and Android calling him out. But all those footsteps attracted a lot of attention. You've got 4 players here at B. And plenty of utility to delay this and continue to delay. Def alone at the A bomb site down to mid. There's 4 SMGs this round for the compLexity side, so a win here would be so phenomenal. They'd be able to upgrade a lot of guns. And here comes the utility. Here comes the execute from Dig.
Molotov, you'd hope would have slowed them down. They get funneled through it. Damage being done. FNS tries to take the fight up close. Yates in the smoke is going to emerge, and Grim shuts him down. Now it's a 3-on-3. Android, bit of a start for compLexity. A master in these 1-on-X scenarios. Shuts down the first and now has support inside of the site. Def, meanwhile. Well, he's in the back line. He's giving them something to think about with only 35 seconds left. They have to clear him out before they do anything. And he is going to go down. That's now brought it back into a 2-on-2. They're going to start to rotate over here towards A. And compLexity, well, they've started to rotate off PTR. You imagine the Android might opt to join him. I mean, usually we kind of see them play for a retake in these scenarios, but he's going to make the call. He should hear the footsteps any second now. He's already committed to the site. And this is where things get dangerous. They've only got 10 seconds. PTR, they don't know he's there. Five, perhaps a little bit too soon. Grim goes down. There should be no way that Mitch wins this. PTR rounds the corner, shuts him down. The hat trick for PTR and compLexity onto a 3rd.
Yeah, great stop over at the B bomb site initially, and then some mistakes coming out for compLexity. It seemed like a little over-eager to end that quickly. I think Ye actually jumped up through the smoke and was a bit disappointed to find that he picked up a MAC-10 instead of an AK-47. Regardless, compLexity wins it out in the end. A nice round from PTR with a triple kill. And both those kills at the end, and they have plenty of money. They're going to buy up now. Back onto pistols for the Dignitas side. Deagles, or 2 Deagles out, 2 CZs, and a Glock on Voltage, who you imagine will want to pick up that AWP. They've done some damage with these buys on Inferno, and I think that's goal number 1 here. Let's get 2 to 3 kills. That nade's not going to help anyone, and MCE's going to fall. And Exceed might not want to push through that smoke, but an easy kill for Def.
Yeah, you're going to be able to drop out another man over there towards B. Def still in a reign of terror here at long. It is just Grim and Voltage left. I mean, these sorts of buys always make me a bit, you know, riddled with anxiety because they're so expensive to buy into. And all it takes is for one of these Dignitas players to grab a stray AK or a stray M4, and suddenly, you know, the round can get very costly very quickly. But it does pan out for compLexity. They keep 5 alive, and that was crucial. And right now, PTR is 8-1. That's kind of terrifying. I haven't really seen too many games where it's him who is turning up. And Cobblestone with the AWP on the CT side. This is Dignitas' worst nightmare if he continues in this form. So the AWP's going to be coming out now for Team Dignitas. We haven't seen Voltage with it yet. This is his debut on Cobblestone with the AWP. PTR tries to take the challenge early on in mid, but he's going to be sent back from the flashbangs, while the rest of the team now focus their attention out here towards long.
This time, Exceed and MCE don't fall prey to the AWP. They just saw it in the previous round. The smoke nade combo. As that smoke disappears, they'll throw some of their own. Make sure they have some safety in taking control of these A-holes. Bomb is still out towards the B site. Some Molotov flash combo to try and get drop. Flames everywhere though, so they're not going to be able to come down. Using their Molotovs to clear out angles before they peek up. And there he is. He spots Def. The shoulder is showing, but he can't land the shot. Everyone else is here, and Def is still just going to hold strong. He's going to fight them all, and he's going to kill them all.
here. This angle from him is a little bit dirty. I mean, ooh, gonna try and bug out. No, Def is on 4. And he is also on form. He locks down mid, just voltage left, and he's gonna look to try and hold on to the AWP, as you would expect. Now, will he suspect Ye, who snuck so deep into the back line? He's gone a bit AWOL. He's gonna discover voltage up here. Whoop, there's the shot. Voltage now knows. Oh, oh, he went out with a knife, perhaps getting a little bit too big for his boots. It would have been massive if they take the AWP away. And those few seconds where they were caught out switching, that does come to punish him. Now the buy can come in for Dignitas. The pause is going to be called in. You imagine it's tactical, and it is.
Yeah, they have the full losing bonus built up, so they have money to get the AK-47s. They'll certainly buy around this AWP, even if he's low on utility and not getting that bonus money. They'll be able to have at least 3 AK-47s. So certainly a buy coming out. That's why you're seeing the pause. They want to talk it over. They want to get on the board right now. They don't want to let this lead extend too far. But compLexity early on looking great. Def standing his ground and just out-dueling everyone. I think he caught the first player off guard. And then from there, they all knew where he was. He didn't move, and he just killed everyone. So an early snag for Dignitas, much like Inferno. Hopefully it doesn't take them as long to get into the game. Round 6 going live.
Yeah, still really have yet to see voltage spring into action. Didn't get to see anything from him in that round, but now he has the AWP back in his hand. Def is over here at long, while compLexity have stacked 4 in B. I like that. It's a change from the CT side. They anticipate that maybe Dignitas are going to try something fast. And the benefit to having 4 players here is that they can send someone aggressive in through long or boost a man up for the information play. Biggest issue they're going to face is that if Def goes down, then it's a one-way ticket to Danger Town. As he starts to retreat back from long, gets an inkling that something might be wrong. Smokes have gone in. So Android now going to look to rotate over here toward A. Def retreats back into the warm embrace of Android. They're going to start to push down into mid. All 5 players here for Dignitas. Slowly but surely working around this territory at long. They got control of it. MC's here in mid. There are 2 players on the other side of this, and he's waiting for the utility to go out from the rest of the team. Is there a flash to go in for him? Molotov forces him out. They don't see this coming. He's able to go ahead and get one. They know that Def's here as well. It's very easy for them to just make their way past him, but Exceed wants much more than that. Going to go ahead and double down. That is massive. As now PTR and FNS, they are locked out of this round. There's no way back into it for them. And that is going to be Dignitas in with their first round. That tactical pause pans out.
Yeah, really trying to exploit the fact that they know they've gone long A a couple times, and it's only been Def there, so they kind of wanted to try and beat him to the punch that round. Didn't work out. He got the smoke and retreated in time, but that mid setup was a little curious just because it looked nice. It just seemed Android got confused with how close those Dignitas players coming hulls were. He turned around, offered his back to the main choke point. Def wasn't at an angle to actually cover him at all. That's when disaster strikes. Great entries from Exceed. The first kill onto Def, and then the follow-up, the awareness of where the next frag is going to come from. So first rounded for Dig, and they survive with plenty of players to be able to sustain moving forward. Good headshot there. Ready for Ye. Knowledge of where the smokes lie and where to look and where you're safe from. See if they can follow it up with a second. Still plenty of money in the bank for compLexity. I think PTR is at around 6,000, FNS at about 8. They were the ones who saved. A couple other players at 2,000. Flashbang forces Def away, and Dignitas going to rinse and repeat. This time, though, they could get caught. PTR is the one playing hulls with an AWP. Also strikes me as someone who'd be more willing to stick around and at least take the initial fight, unless he gets blind.
He's going to be sent back. I see him sticking around. Yeah, no, good judge of character. Starts to now fade away as more utility reigns in. Dignitas, they've taken control of long once again. The question is this time, do they fall back and head towards B? You can already see compLexity. The wounds of the previous round are still fresh. They're going to start to pull Android off from that B bomb site. Def goes aggressive in mid. That's netted them the man advantage and some information. They catch a man out. The question still remains: how many more players for Dignitas are here? And it looks like they think it's going to be the fake. PTR starts to rotate away. Now that utility reigns in, and only Def put a stop to it. PTR's come back just in the nick of time. He's able to get one. Mitch, though, could have made all the difference, but he just catches him a little bit late on the rotation. He's in the backline. They have to worry about him, though. They have to shut this man down. So the bomb plant will come in for Dignitas. Just how long can Mitch delay them for? That's perfect. They're spending so much time dealing with one man, and he's still doing damage. Finally going to get dealt with. Now it's Grim and Voltage. Voltage watches from long. Just holding the angle with the AWP. Spots out PTR now. It's Android 1v2, and Voltage finds them both. Dignitas in with a second round. And I mean, that was one. The second Mitch made them waste so much time in the back.
Yeah, he was great. Even though he missed the initial shot, he actually lost that first fight. He gave away his position without getting any results from it. But the fact that everyone from compLexity just paused in that connector. Only getting one kill, dealing damage to the other, but what it did do is buy enough time for his teammates at the A bomb site to get into better positions to set up a crossfire off angle with the AWP that's very tough to deal with. And then obviously one in the bomb site. So 2 straight rounds for Dig, 1 more, and there's no more money for compLexity. Here's Exceed. He's taking some damage, down to 60 health. But he's in a good position to be a nuisance over at the B bomb site. The AWP on PTR is over at A. So we can find a duel against another rifle here, where the AK would have an advantage.
Spots out for this. I know one of these players are. Android set up to try and work some magic from Rock. Smokes now start to rain in. Well, that's going to start making their way out of the site, but they still have to check the cover. Yay. They come pouncing out. He only takes one. Now it's FNS. Takes down the first, and he has been a driving force in holding down these sites. Android doesn't stand the test of time, and neither does FNS as Exceed cuts them down and makes it look easy. PTR's able to take one back. It's a 2-on-2 with Dignitas. They've struggled with these earlier on in Inferno. Will they be able to keep these nerves of steel? Peek on out. MCE certainly will. He finds that first. Now it's PTR left back against the wall. M4 in hand, and MCE's not done with them yet. Finishes things off. Dignitas going to get themselves a 3rd round. And they are looking better here on Cobblestone.
This is really impressive from Exceed. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of him tonight. Those are 2 very clean shots. We saw him with a very similar situation over at the A-bomb site just the previous round, so they've done it. Take a tactical timeout 3 rounds ago, and then they won 3 straight. So nicely done from Dignitas, making the adjustments. They've slowed things down. The previous round, they just gained map control with 1 player over towards B platform, and they used that as leverage to make a full-blown hit, because they've already got advanced position. So that's quite nice. No one from compLexity able to deal with them. Now this gets dangerous. Now all of a sudden we've got a game. Got a game, Harry. Last one of the day.
Yeah, and you know, it's the one we've all been waiting for. And I always feel like tactical pauses for the CT side are pretty fantastic, because at least for Dignitas, because now they can just change the pace. They know they compLexity. You know, everything, all the discussion there goes into trying to fix what Dignitas have been throwing against them, and now Dignitas just charging in this round head first, get it done, and same in the next as well as the buy comes in. Of course, this time around it is just a partial buy, so this is one you imagine Dignitas pick up regardless. They're over here towards long at B. They're going to leave Mitch behind to keep an eye on middle, where 3 players for compLexity currently reside. And this leaves Android and Ye. Oh, it's not really where they wanted the smoke to go.
No, it's not what you want to see, is it?
And, you know, I mean, telegraphs a bit of a play coming in, but at the same time, that one's going to do it that much more. Now the push comes in from behind.
They're taking far too much time on this, though. With no one over at the A site, look at this. Def and PTR already starting to flank. They don't have a great timing on it. They might lose too many teammates, but if there's any resistance here, that flank can shut them down to the Exceed. Of course, who else but Exceed? Very aware. But here's Ye with one. That might force Exceed to turn around. They still haven't taken the bomb site. Still a chance here. PTR with the peek and to do some damage at range, and he finds one. So does Android. They're stuck. And then the Deagle rings true. Voltage doesn't even get the shot off. That's exactly why taking that much time can be so deadly. They just got bottlenecked.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you see teams take that long, they might be holding a default, right, and then keeping an eye out for any sort of aggression. But you see, they're just sat outside of B. It's not like they were really holding for that aggression from behind. I mean, Mitch was there earlier on in the round, but then it ultimately led to those players coming in from behind and then just bottlenecking them in as they try to make it out with only 20 seconds left on the clock. So Dignitas hoisted by their own petard as they lose that round. Now it's going to be compLexity in the driving seat looking forward.
Well, here it comes. 5 players, but PTR is blind. Def this time gets nothing done from that position. Now, thankfully, there's already a player in the bomb site to kind of help recover this, and one more PTR. He can't really jump down with that AWP, but he can't spot it. They come behind him. They wrap, and FNS, he's got to take the shot, but he hesitates. That allows Mitch to drop him, and this is a disaster for compLexity. And MC with one more, and it's a cleaned house. Dignitas with the rebuttal.
Yeah, well, you know, you do love to see that Dignitas straight back into this one. And now it's compLexity. Going to get a taste of their own medicine. They're going to look to try and do it back to them. And please don't let us see a back and forth this late into the game. It's weird. So now, going to be a stack over here towards long. This is, of course, what we saw compLexity do just rounds ago, and it did lead to their success. Although, last time it was a B play from Dignitas, maybe with their attention fixated over here towards this A bomb site. Success will find them. Right now it's FNS to find them. And that's not what they want. He takes down Grim. They're going to keep pushing up. Voltage falls shortly after. Mason, I don't think I'm ready for this. It's all on Mitch and MCE. And once again, this looks like it could go oh so wrong. Luckily enough, MCE and Mitch, they don't want to mess around any longer. It's PTR 1v1. It's come down to the wire. And MCE gets caught crossing back. We're going to see the back and forth, Jason. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, this is madness. Absolute bedlam. Well, it's not all a loss. Voltage can drop an AK-47 over to Grim, and they're going to have a solid buy. I'm not sure why they haven't purchased quite yet. Maybe some frustration coming out in the team speak while they are, you know, just sitting in freeze time.
Yeah, we get Siri's opinion on that as well. But see, he's over here at long. He's not messing around. Gonna be held back by that Molotov. Does have support from a teammate. PTR gonna be holding the angle with the AWP, smokes it off. Opting to play things safe, not gonna leave anything up to chance here. At the long angle. Minute 15, plenty of time for Dignitas to make their mind up. They have a decent bit of utility to work with as well, considering they lost that previous round. Gonna throw out one solitary smoke while the bomb starts to rotate away.
Oh, that's not ideal. And yep, that's about what happens. Caught it all on camera.
Yeah.
Mitch gonna lead the way now. Molotov are clearing out. They've spotted FNS, a return Molotov as well. Fighting the flames, trying to get one, not gonna happen. Not even that great of damage done, oddly enough. And there it is. The crutch from 3 different locations obliterates this defense. No success anywhere, and the back and forth continues.
Indeed it does. Only this time, I think compLexity are all out of money. And that's why we kind of say this this back and forth definitely benefits that T side. Buying is so much cheaper. As well as that, when we saw them win, they kept more players alive than compLexity did. And, I mean, yeah, that kind of pays testament to that argument. There's no money left for compLexity here. You imagine they're going to go for a force anyway. I don't think they can afford... they're going to be on a double eco, sorry. And PTR can actually drop a rifle over, so they can scrape a bit of a buy together.
This is scary, though. I mean, well, maybe not scary, but scary is the wrong word. But only really Peter is winning out in some of these duels. Everyone else seems to have cooled off from Inferno. Maybe it's just Dignitas feeling much more comfortable on cbble. But a lot of fights being won by different players on the Dignitas side, and maybe because, as you said, it would have to be a double save. You're going to see a full investment here around this AWP. There is one M4 on Def, 3 smokes. Peter's got the flashbangs and the nade and the kit and the AWP, and he's going to go all on his lonesome over towards the B bomb site. So an educated guess perhaps on what they've seen throughout this game so far, that likely Dignitas early on is at least going to test the A site.
Yeah, I like this. You know, PTR's been winning out a lot of these duels. I think it's safe to have him being your anchor. He's been pretty clutch in a lot of these rounds, and they're hoping that that stands the testament of time. He's actually going to try his hand at some aggression here on platform. This is risky, as Android's nowhere near, not only in terms of picking up the trade, but perhaps more crucially in terms of picking up that AWP. It is literally worth its weight in gold, and it's pretty heavy. So, Smokes and Flash is ready to go in. PTR going to tag down Voltage. Now he falls back onto Fountain. This is good. Time is ticking away. Android could come out to help. He's been able to find the first, but he gets fed to the wolves as Xseed wraps around and Android doesn't answer back. MC going to be in with one more. It's a 3 versus 4. Def has a rifle to try and help out in this retake, but Alarm's looking to force FNS back, and that pretty much seals their fate. Ye is committed, and actually he's been good with the dig, if you recall a couple of these rounds. He'll get snuffed out by Voltage. And they've committed. They've started to make their way in. They have to move swiftly here. Def over on short. Voltage goes down up on the platform. Now Xseed peeks out. They don't want to let this one elude them. It all falls to FNS, and he goes down. Dignitas in with 6.
Bit of a nightmare, really, but I guess you can't fault them to a certain degree. They knew there was a kit dropped inside the bomb site on PTR's body. I don't think they would have gone for it, except for that one deagle kill that came out. Really made them feel like it was doable. Kind of lured him into that retake and took everything away. So this round, you see some P250s bought up a CZ. PTR's got light armor as well. Kind of a superficial purchase. This is just going to be a B-rush. Straight over the top, straight over to the stairs they go. Let's see if these pistols can ring true. Good dink, but no follow-up. That was one of the USPs. FNS has got to do something, but not even allowed to shoot. All right, why not, yay? Good call, and Def missing some shots. Exposed, but he does recover nicely. Still alive right next to the flames. Got Voltage while he was paying attention to the flank. Nothing more is going to come from this. 7-7, it's all tied up.
Yeah, Dignitas, they're looking good. If they can win out the half, then they could very well have an alright time of things in this second half. Let's not forget, the CT side is going to be trickier for them. They're definitely in the heads of compLexity right now. Buy comes in. Of course, this all stems from that back and forth that we saw happen just rounds ago. Left compLexity with a broken bank as well as a broken morale. Xseed gonna be the first man in, and he's opened up already. FNS. He's been dropped, and Xseed, well, he's slowed right down. They're gonna try boosting up. He's just ducked on out of there.
That was a really, really ballsy boost in that scenario. If Xseed was still looking, if the timing was there, he would have spotted Def jumping and been able to take him down inside the smoke, maybe even get a double kill. Regardless, you like the way that Xseed has grown in terms of his confidence through this game with that kind of a play. Essentially just a solo B rush, finding a kill and falling back. He's been phenomenal for Dignitas.
They're going to start to have to pick a bomb site sometime soon. Bomb still waits in mid. They're trying to get a feel for this. They haven't spotted anything here on A. And it's risky going in blind. They know that. They know they found a frag as well over at B. And that's Ye drops out one. Xi going to go ahead and make his way in a drop down. Now he looks to split into A. They take out the only portion of resistance, and Exceed, he controls the rotations. He shuts down one, and he who controls the rotations controls the round. It's all on death. 1v4. Exceed is a monster. 4 frags to lock in an 8th round for Dignitas. And I think he's showing a hell of a lot of promise right now.
What the hell? That was very crisp shooting that round. I liked it. I want to see more of it. Great job by Dignitas. Remember, this was 5-0 at one point, so an 8-2 run to close that half. For a team that just got moved up to Pro League, their first season, their second map for most of these players, if not all of them. And this was a very good put together T-side on cbble.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say they're really exceeding your expectations. I mean, he's up there top of the board right now, 123 ADR,
Yeah, that's not
18 and 8.
That's not bad at all. Going head-to-head with PTR, 16 and 7 with 91 ADR. No one else from compLexity really showing up. I mean, everyone seemed to have good rounds back on Inferno, Ye, and Android, each winning like a 1v2. Def had some good rounds. He had some good rounds earlier on in that half, but everyone cooled down as it went on. It was Exceed who kind of space jammed all their skills. He's a monster.
Well, we're going to be heading into the second half. Dignitas now swapping things over onto the CT side. They're going to come under a little bit more heat here, I think. compLexity moving on to the more favored of the two sides. And Dignitas kind of losing that advantage that the T side brings to these not newer rosters. They're a roster that's been together a little while, but just competing at this level.
I am curious to see how this CT side will go for Dignitas. Here's a frightening part for Dignitas is when you have one player leading the way to such a degree, when you switch over to the CT side and all of a sudden he doesn't have the freedom anymore to kind of take whatever fight he wants and go wherever he wants, like on the T side. Not only might he cool off individually, but you can really exploit the fact that the rest of Dignitas is you know, not lighting up the scoreboard. You can really attack someone else. You can kind of dictate if he still stays on fire for the second half, you can just go elsewhere on the map and kind of neutralize him.
So I am curious, Jason. If you are MC right now and you're IGL in Dignitas, where do you put Exceed? Where do you think is the most pivotal place on this map that you could put him early on?
That's an interesting question. I don't know, actually. I mean, drop is always super important, but I don't, you know, because it's tough, because if you have utility over towards B, like, you really want to be able to stop the fast B aggression. But I think drop zone is probably the most important part, and then it also allows him to rotate between the bomb sites if you can do it properly. But we'll see. I don't necessarily think there's a great answer on this map just because it's such a slow-paced map. So it's not necessarily about where you put someone. It's about how you control, like, how you rotate him into the correct position. Ooh, look at this peek. There he is. He's over at B. So why not? This isn't the worst idea.
He can take the peek on platform. Gonna be sent back, doesn't spot the PTR's up close, and now he's only got 7 bullets. So he needs 1 to find PTR. Somehow has the time to get a reload off as well. They've let him stay alive for a good while before they shut him down. Rotation's already here, and look at this. Mitch is already up at the back line, but Grim goes down, and that was it. That was their leverage in this. Mitch, he's got to try and step up. 1v3, the bomb planted, acting like a 4th man for compLexity. Well, Mitch is being tagged down, has Ye up close, and Ye is keen with the pistols. Him and Android are definitely the pistol players for compLexity. Whether it's Deegs, USP, or Glock, they get the job done.
That was a tough round. I don't think Dignitas realized how close compLexity was, and then too late they realize it once the explosion comes in. Couldn't mount a great defense there. The SMGs are out for compLexity. Mac 10 on Def, UMPs on FNS and PTR. Unarmored opponents as well on the other side of the map. Doing the old Virtus Pro stack. The VP special.
Yeah, I mean, the VP special indeed. Taking some inspiration from another team, of course, that are in MDL right now, which is where compLexity came from. Not Dignitas came from, rather. But they're not going to get to see any action. MCE over here at B. He is the object of compLexity's desire. About to have 5 players come his way. He's got 1 flash, but that's not amazing.
It's not gonna do much this round, will it? It's not gonna stop him. Not gonna slow him down. I guess the only real thing you can do if you're Dignitas here, because you have 3 players on a flank, is just kind of set up to get some exit kills. But even so, Def hears it all, so he knows exactly what's coming. Ooh, gets the first. There's 1 more to deal with, and he gets dropped from behind. But some decent trades. He wanted to try and get that bonus money before he was eliminated. Not gonna happen. Grim, not long for this world.
Oh, they're even there, Grim. You just can't catch a break. FNS gets boosted. And now compLexity onto a 9th. Dignitas there in that previous round, you always like to see it. They didn't actually invest. I mean, they didn't invest anything. That's the odd part. Second round, usually we see at least an upgraded pistol. But they're going very, very light on the investments. This time it's going to be a nade stack. And the only place that can actually happen is over here towards B. Now, upsettingly enough for them, it is the 1 round that compLexity have sent no on B. Well, they've sent Def B, but...
He's not there to make any noise or to take any attention. He's just there to make sure there's no funny business happening, no flanks coming in. So yeah, the nades will likely go unused, unless they decide to rush back towards the A bomb site, although still, it'd be hard to coordinate all of them in that rotation.
Def's drop. Mitch is there. Mitch is no longer there. So he gets torn up by the Mac 10. These nades haven't found any success. Oop. Okay, Def's down. He completes the transition from entry fragger to entry frag. Now it's a 4-on-4. PTR's been boosted up, and I think this position is very strong. Well, no one was there, so he's not going to be able to catch anyone off guard. Grim is waiting to see if he can find any exits come his way. But it will be a 10th for compLexity. Although the easy streak has ended, the buy comes in for Dignitas in the next round.
PTR is going to gain some bonus money. There's one of those nades used in desperation. He's going to have to push forward eventually for this bomb, and I think Voltage knows it, but they're just going to bail out, not give him the bonus money. Not a bad call, all things considered. So 10-8, Dignitas still in this one. Got to start responding now, and they've got plenty of money with which to do it. Voltage is going to have that AWP, M4s, plenty of utility due to the light investment in the previous 2 rounds. And here we go.
Yeah, they've actually got a lot to work with here. Lots of utility. They know that utility is king on a map like Cobblestone. I think Sentry goes down to deny, and he sort of rush out here towards the long angle. MC still with a smoke. Can buy more time. Getting ready to smoke that off. Has to be careful. The replay's ready to push on in. He doesn't want to get caught with the smoke in hand, so he just goes and drops it by his feet. Now rotates away to a bit more of a passive angle here at long. Start to creep on up. Players out in mid, players over at long. They've secured a lot of ground over here towards A. They haven't discovered where any of these players are. They don't really understand the landscape of this A bomb site. Rotation is going to come in from XC. I'm not sure what spurred on that decision. Perhaps it's going to be a bit of a gamble coming in from Dignitas.
They're doing it because they have Voltage with this angle out towards long. So because he has such an early warning system, They feel pretty comfortable having 3 players over at A, although no one's close for a rotate. So if Voltage gets blinded or heaven forbid, killed, it's going to be a while before someone can get in. There's a missed shot. Now they need to start rotating, and it's not going to be easy because compLexity is not going to slow down now. It's basically only 2 players here defending this. One of them being blind. It's Grim who wins the battle, but can't take any more fights until just there. A new angle. Oh, he gets 3. How has he done that with such low HP? An incredible hold, and Ye now doesn't realize he's being flanked out, or yes, he does, but 9 seconds. He's got to put the bomb on the ground, and it's so far back. They actually left the bomb in the mid-connector. It might not have mattered in the end of it, but Dignitas, the heroics from Grim that round are phenomenal. He should not have been able to get 2 more after this. Down to 19 HP. A new angle here yields him 1 more, and then just as the bullets are all gone, he gets a 3rd. However, 1 player surviving in that victory puts you into a very tough situation with the bye.
Yeah, both sides close to being out of money. The reset looming over either side. compLexity turn their attention in towards B once again. There's 4 players stacked here this time for Dignitas. They anticipate a faster play. Sentry goes down. Mitch looking like he wants to try and peek into this. He has to be careful. All the smoke starts to rain in. Mitch peeks on out, and that's the man advantage picked up now for compLexity. They're going to be the ones setting the pace here as they charge on in. Voltage has the AWP on Fountain. He's the only one left, and he goes down. It's quick, it's clean, it's flawless from compLexity.
Yeah, compLexity obviously spotting some weakness of that B bomb set in the previous round, even though they lost it, and they just go right back into it, exploit it fully. And Dignitas back into a double save. They're going to take a tactical timeout. MCE 1450. 2 players at 1450, 2 at 1500. This is a dire situation, especially at this stage in the game. It's either going to be a shoddy buy in the next round or a double save here. So a hard reset.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Technical pause going to be called on in, not tactical. Could have caused to be either. We've had a few microphone and TeamSpeak issues tonight, so I imagine it's going to be something like that.
Yeah, would make sense.
It's a ping problem.
Ping problem.
There you go.
I did notice in the last round, despite the fact that compLexity won it so easy, 2 of their players were in T-spawn for quite some time. PTR and FNS were really, really late leaving spawn. So I was curious of what's happening. Maybe it's with them. Regardless, we're getting that figured out now. Sounds like freeze time is coming to an end, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, it's just going to be a flat eco from Dignitas. 1 PT50 brought up, and everyone else on vanilla pistols. FNS out here along. I think you get 1, but Ye, not a fan of that. Gonna go ahead and mow down the rest. As Ye's slaughterhouse is open for business. He strings them up, cuts them down. Now it's Mitch and Grim left alive. Gonna be boosting up. Oh. Oh. Death's not ready.
Maybe he's the one having ping issues. Even after he got dinked, just didn't even move a muscle.
Or he just accepted death.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, we've all been at that point. We've all been there. So here we go. Mitch is alone.
Ooh.
Okay, no, now things get a little bit scary. Now it's AK, picked it up off of Death, 1 versus 2. PTR's over at long. Gonna start to maneuver. In past SWAT, PTR shuts him down. Takes that peek, gets it right on the timing. compLexity in with the 12th, but it's very costly.
Oh god, that money is hideous for Dignitas. Yeah, surely they save 1 more. It's painful to have to do it, but if you buy here and lose, that's kind of the ball game. So 1 more round back onto pistols, upgraded pistols at that, P250 CZ. So a chance for some miracle run, especially because they've had some pretty decent pistol work, all things considered.
Yeah, they have fared well in these pistol rounds.
It's going to be more of a stack again out towards A halls. 4 players from compLexity, though. Surely they use some utility. 1 Molotov would have cleared that up, but at the same time, so did 3 AKs kind of do a similar job. And That's the round. 13-9 is going to be the score moving forward. Mitch and Grim in this round, the only real hope they could have is find an AK-47 right at the end. Find a kill, find someone overextending and all on their own. Isolate the weakest of the herd. Could be FNS. This is a pretty tough angle to clear, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have to work out for them as they come his way. Oh, they're so close. Mitch spots it. That's an AK.
That's such awkward timing for FNS. He's going to be frustrated.
PTR kind of wants to go for the trade, but he also doesn't want to risk losing the AWP, so he waits for the teammates to get close by. I mean, they only had 3 players survive in that previous round, or 2 rather. So, can't afford to lose anymore. They play that well. compLexity in with a 13th. Now the buy comes in, though, and money is plentiful for Team Dignitas. They can get whatever they want. Voltage can be on the AWP, plenty of utility behind it as well. Pause called in. No mercy on the pauses, Jason. Your taxi gets here in 25 minutes, I believe, to the airport.
Maybe. I don't know. I got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, and when you've got
Listen,
CS as good
the
as
airplanes
this
at this point wait for me.
Okay. Wow, there you go. That is fantastic, and I don't doubt it. I imagine they have your name on a sheet somewhere,
Yeah.
and you will make their life hell.
Yeah, just as much of a diva as I am at events. Force the red carpet to roll out in front of me. The champagne delivered to my seat. Today I'm gonna take a nice little nap. 13-9. Waiting for ping to go down one more time. No one wanting to mess with any kind of screwy internet situations this late in the game.
I can't say I blame them. I mean, if you're compLexity, Dignitas are only 4 rounds behind you, and they've been keeping them competitive even with pistols. Now they've got their buy coming into this round.
I mean, if you're compLexity, you're worried because this is a team that, if you want to be competing for playoffs, this is a team that you kind of have to beat. And if you're Dignitas, obviously, you're taking every single match like it's the biggest match of your life. Your first season in Pro League, the first step of perhaps some of these guys, some of them perhaps having long careers in Counter-Strike, and you want to make sure you impress people in your first season, you get some wins on the board, and you continue to improve. So, Mitch crossing his fingers, closing his eyes, and taking a shot. It's not going to land. Double up set up for the Dignitas side. One on Voltage as well. He's over towards long A. And FNS, I think he's going to be the... No, he looked like he wants to be the sole player applying pressure here. Molotov, but they're already past it, and that causes MCE to go down. It's just Voltage here, and he hits the first shot. Actually, he gets 2, excuse me. Not with 1 shot, but just 2 separate ones. I didn't notice the first one. There he goes. He's down. Ye finds him, and actually... They pulled a fast one on Dignitas. What is it? The wool is over the sheep's eyes or something like that? I don't know, some weird saying like that.
Just the wool over their eyes. But I mean, it could be over a sheep's eyes if you want to make it weirdly have cannibalistic undertones.
Yeah, that's fair.
Here's FNS fighting one on to Mitch. Now it is just Grim and Exceed. Now, 2 versus 3. Money is not great. If they find something quickly, maybe we see them go for this. They're going to go ahead and flash on through. Try and make a play. Exceed falls at the first hurdle. And FNS shuts down Grim. That is 14-9. Now there's no money for Dignitas. They're going to have to face the music. They decided to go for that retake, and now they pay the price as their economy is bottomed out.
That's a great mid-round call from compLexity, though. Part of it being because the in-game leader, FNS, heavily involved in that play. Not the action towards the A bomb site, but once he heard the rotations come through, he kind of lurked his way out into the B bomb site, maybe find a straggler, maybe find someone running over to the A bomb site, but definitely finding out the site is open for business. Calling his troops back, getting a free win. 14-9. Dignitas have a stack over here towards B. It's only MCE at A. There's so much utility on the compLexity side. The biggest danger they have is this Deagle on Exceed, but the bullets throw his aim off. Wasn't able to get a clean shot. Yeah, he's spotted Voltage crossing back into the site. They're still going to keep moving forward. with a full executive utility and you have the control of the B platform with the AK-47s, I feel very confident in taking this site. Here it comes. Swing out wide, use the range. There's Android dropping down. Immediate trade. It's not bad from Dignitas so far. They just don't have enough to fight with, and clean headshots from Ye. So 6 straight map points for compLexity, but Dignitas again putting up a fight on this map, which you love to see from a new team in Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, they put up a fight on both maps. And yeah, I think, you know, with a little bit of refinement, I think we're going to see this team get better and better in every engagement. Now, 6 match points would be required, or 6 rounds, sorry, to stave off the win from compLexity. Will be needed for Dignitas to forge a comeback and take it through to OT. MC is here at long. He is on his lonesome. Sentries are off to go ahead and keep compLexity away. Android keeping their attention over here at B. Now we're going to rejoin the rest of the gang in mid. It looks like it could just be an A play off the bat. That smoke gets dropped now. That maybe throws a bit of a twist into things. They're going to boost the man over. And this could very easily catch MC off guard. He's going to start to rotate back. Okay, that tower gets dismantled, but the trade does come in. 4 on 4. Rotation's going to come on through as Exceed and Grim look to reinforce this A-bomb site, joining up with Mitch. Going to leave Voltage to hold B all alone.
Just passing 50 seconds left in the round. compLexity has fought for some of this control. You kind of want to leave a player here. It's going to be Def. The question is, how aggressive does he want to get up towards that A bomb site? And the answer is not much. Mistaken flashbang. Another one comes out. Does blind Voltage. Good thing he threw the second one and didn't give up on the issue. Smoke down. One of the benefits of having an AWP in this position is that you can save utility because you kind of want to take those long-range fights. Here comes Def. 1 kill here would be massive, and he spots out Mitch. It's a split towards this A site. Mitch isn't even looking this way whatsoever. It's a free kill for Android. The entire map is on this, and Dignitas has no defense in this bomb site. They can't stop the plan even though the time is low. Grim going to try and make a sneaky play, but Android is ready. It's Exceed with so much to do, but Android is just going to clean them all out. And what that just happened? Did he actually kill the planner?
I don't know.
Ooh, God bless Exceed. He got up long and killed the planner and made him run out of time. That is cool stuff. It even fooled me.
Yeah, straight away tactical pause called in. compLexity not having any of that.
I have
That was down to milliseconds.
no clue what happened.
I thought that was all said and done, but Dignitas, they still got some fight in them.
You love that.
I mean, they're not giving up. They're not ones to shy away from a fight. 5 rounds between them and compLexity, and most importantly, them and overtime. Still a possibility. Still very much so a possibility here. Dignitas not wanting to give up.
Well, let's see what they've got. 2 FAMAS, AWP on Voltage. Ooh, the boost up. Let's see, that could have huge impact. And it is Exceed. You know what he can do? No one is watching for this whatsoever, so he's feeling very happy. This is dangerous, though, just sitting here and pausing and not making a move. At any one point, someone could come around from his right. FNS, is he going to be ready? Not for that angle. That's a sneaky one. But good kills, and now they're watching behind him. Exceed's going to trade over for an AK-47. And the rest of compLexity is a decision, because they're boxed in. Do they want to go for Exceed? Do they want to fight their way out the back? Or do they go forward? And that's why you see such a huge rotation. This is a very dangerous, tense moment for both squads.
Exceed still just sits here. He could cause so much havoc. Yeah, he's going to come his way, takes the peek and wins the duel. That's Exceed down. Mitch, though, he's dropped the bomb out in the open, and that's massive. Grim's in with one more. Flash goes out. Going to go ahead and burn MCE out into the open. Trying to lock this down. The bomb, they have to go and get it. The smokes have rained in. They've been allowed to retrieve it, but it comes close. And now, yeah, you're going to try and duck through drop down. He has snuck on by. MC suspects. Gotta be holding close. Here's the man coming up through mid, but Ye wins the duel despite being low. He's on the hat trick. He's got 3. And this time there's plenty of time for that bomb to go down. Grim and Mitch. 2 versus 2. And it's all on the line. They're making their way into balcony. Both players there. PTR holds the angle. Legs the first on the peek on out. And now Ye watching from long. Has the angle covered out from Swap Fan. PTR, here's Grim trying to make his way up onto the site. Peeks on him, but PTR wins it. Now it's all on Ye. 5 HP, Mitch gonna stick the defuse. Ye has to get there in time. And he gets it done. compLexity, they win this out 16-10.
Nice win for compLexity. They really did have to fight for it, though. It wasn't easy. Dignitas did some cool stuff. Really liked what we saw at Grim tonight. I thought was really cool. Obviously, Exceed, super impressive, especially on this cobble, this last map. Both those players were nice, and I think everyone's got to be pleasantly surprised with Dignitas, yeah? Yeah, cool.
Look at that thumbs up. That's a proud thumbs up right there. Would you look at that? Yeah. How about that, guys? What a showing here from the Dignitas side. Nothing to hang your head about. You didn't grab the victory, but still, a good motion forward.
Gained some experience, and they got some experience, so good.
That was there. Yeah, that was up there with the analysis. Please continue down where he was going. Finish his stuff.
Yeah, no. Obviously, what he wanted to say was the fact that we led into this in the pre-match was talking about how you need to make this not just a rush or a loss that you just get so run over you can't really look back at it and actually learn something from it. And they definitely made a match out of it. I think Exceed obviously in the first half did a lot of the heavy lifting for Dignitas to get a spot and actually get into a very close first half. Got a little out of hand towards the second half, but that's again, you know, it's difficult to play that CT side on cobble a lot, especially as an inexperienced team, especially when you have an experienced in-game leader that you're going up against. So you will be able to find those gaps in your defense very easily, and I think we saw that at times. Like compLexity were better at, you know, slowly gathering map control than Dignitas were, like, you know, over the course of the game, and that's obviously going to pay dividends.
It is. That is how it works. It's the first team to 16 rounds, I think.
No,
usually, in most cases. But that is actually the storyline today. Let's go ahead and check out the matches across the North American region. My goodness, we've had some bangers. Take it away, Pimp.
When we started out seeing compLexity playing, and surprisingly enough, getting some or a win against Luminosity, they ended up splitting maps, which seemed to be the story of the first week. Basically, you know, a lot of teams switching the maps, moving on to the Rogue, the Ghost series again. You know, being Ghost of themselves, at least in the first bet. They showed up on the second one, made it to 14, but didn't clinch the win. So a little bit of positive going on for them, at least despite being 0-4 in the league thus far. compLexity getting the 2-0 against Dignitas as we just saw. So a fine week for compLexity to say the least, starting out Pro League season 1 or season 7. It is, right?
Yes, this is season 7. In doubt,
and so many seasons.
Don't doubt. It is actually season 7. It is also rather early in the morning. However, let's flip it now. And you know what, Halvor, it's your turn. Please take it away.
Gonna get to do all of the EU action that took place earlier today. As you can see, Fnatic versus NIP happened. The Swedish battle. Fnatic coming out on top 2-0 in that series. Na'Vi splitting maps with North, somewhat surprisingly. Cool to see the new look North doing well for themselves. And Fnatic ended their days with a 2-0 victory over a not necessarily 100% G2, but impressive nonetheless. And over on the B stream, we saw FaZe picking up some important wins versus AGO. And Heroic actually beating Astralis in 2 straight games, which is very impressive considering Rubino just joined that lineup. And Astralis were looking really strong the 2 first days. And then NIP finally getting their first 2 victories of the season with Dennis in versus Space Shoulders, albeit one of them in overtime, so not, you know, full amount of points they could have gotten there, but still a win's a win.
You know, I was talking with Pimp in the break there, or during the match, so to say, and he said he was going to be a little troubled. He's going to go home and stream, but he's going to miss us most of all. That's right, Katowice is coming up, and that is the next stop on the Intel Grand Slam, of course. Either way, let's take a look at these teams first and foremost. And Pimp, who do you got winning this bad boy?
Winning the entire thing, I think.
No, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go for a Strat. No, I'm thinking SK and FaZe is gonna have another battle unit. I think this is gonna be the year of SK and FaZe. If last year weren't, then this is gonna be even more so.
Even with the slow start SK has right
Even
now.
with the slow start, I think, especially considering the Grand Slam, you know, they stand to win $1 million if they can clinch this one. So if they can't be motivated by that, then what? You know, so I think SK has a decent chance.
I mean, they could have won $1 million at Major, but
Just putting it out there.
So
I
got you, Trace.
We don't want to rehash old wounds, and you know what? That doesn't mean I'm going to back up UKCS at any point in the broadcast.
Nobody.
You know what? Then in that case,
There's nobody to back
will
up,
not be
so-
doing
Hey,
well.
hey, bring it forth, guys. Relax. We got the Intel Grand Slam. Pimp, you said it yourself. $1 million on the line there. That's right. And SK are currently ahead by 1 event, looking to grab another one there in Katowice. But as their progression is showing, they're off to a little bit of a slow start, kind of up in the air.
Yeah, there's and obviously you saw, you know, judging from the team list in Katowice as well, quite a few of those already, or those teams have already grabbed at least 1 Grand Slam victory are going to be in Katowice as well. So it's not like competition is going to be light by any means. SK definitely have to be at full force to make it to the finals.
Well, I want the record to show and the time to state. 7:17 in the morning. And that will be all for the first week of ESL Pro League here from the North American component. Thank you for having us. We will see you after Katowice. You better be here with us.